Okay, okay, okay. Wait for 2 minutes. I'll start the lecture in 2 minutes. Okay, wait for 2 minutes. Okay, so in previous lecture, hello, is there, is my voice audible? Yes. Okay. Okay. So in previous lecture, we got a brief about types of machine learning algorithms, generative versus discriminative models, and we studied some of the performance metrics of classification, right? So in today's lecture, from today's lecture, we'll be starting our first machine learning algorithm, which is linear regression. So it is a regression algorithm that we'll be studying today. So we'll be starting with that. We'll be studying what is hypothesis function of linear regression and what is the main idea that we'll be trying to uh, uh, conclude through that. Okay. Okay. Let me share the screen now so that we can start. Wait for just 2 minutes. I'm sharing it. So is my screen visible? Hello? Is the screen visible to everyone? Okay. All right. Okay. Sorry for the delay. Let us start the lecture now. So, in today's lecture, we'll be discussing our first machine learning algorithm, that is linear regression. All right. Just a minute. All right. So, we'll be discussing our first machine learning algorithm today, which is a linear regression. In regression and classification, right? So, anyone wants to about the models, regression and classification? Just a minute. Okay. Hello. Hello. Is the voice okay now? Yeah. Okay. Fine. So I want everyone to tell me that what is the difference between regression and classification. How were we differentiating both the algorithms, regression and classification? What was the difference that we stated between a regression problem and a classification problem? Yes, discrete. Most of you have answered. Fine. So, as we stated in the previous lecture also, that output will be in discrete form in classification problem. So today we'll be discussing our first machine learning algorithm, that is regression algorithm. So before starting with the regression algorithm, I want to explain a few points that is related to the data set, related to the model building, which is overfitting model, underfitting model, and best fit model. Okay, so I want to explain this three concept. I'll explain this three concept using an example, using a random example that I'm taking. I'm just explaining through a random example so that you can relate to it. Fine. So for example, you have you have students in classroom, and there is a textbook and professor. Fine. So professor is teaching from the textbook, and there are three sets of students, 1, 2, and 3. One set of students are performing in the exam using guessing. So whatever is in the textbook, they are not understanding it. Neither they are getting and gaining any understanding through it, nor they are implementing in on any new data. New data means I'm talking about any test series or something like that. Okay, so they are performing through guessing. The second type of student, they are actually learning the entire textbook. So if a question is asked from the textbook, they are able to answer that question. Question is asked, they might not be able to answer well. So this is the second type of third student. And the third type of student is understanding, is learning through understanding. So if a question is given in the textbook, in both the cases they are able to predict some good output. Okay, so these are the three types of students which will relate with overfitting, underfitting, and best fit models. So we can say training data set. Okay, this textbook here is our training data set through which the student will be learning. So first student will be performing through guessing, so they are not performing well either in training or in testing. Okay, they are performing bad both in training data set as well as the testing data set. The second type of student are performing well in textbook question, that is they are performing well in training. But whenever they are given a new new data that we have is performing good with the training data as well as the testing data. Okay, they are performing well in both training as well as testing. So the first model does not perform well either on training data or on testing data, are underfitting model. The second type of model are overfitting model. The model which performs well in training data as well as testing data. Okay, this they are performing well in both training as well as testing. So the first model are overfitting model. The model which performs well in training data whenever they by training on certain data, right? Training on certain data. So if whenever they are given any new set of data, they'll be performing poorly. That is overfitting model. And the third set of model is best fit model. Okay, is this clear? Is this three concept clear in the to everyone? Overfitting, underfitting, and best fit. Any questions? Hello. Any questions? Hello. Okay. So everyone is clear with this three set of models? Yes or no? What is still? Is it so? Okay. Wait a minute. Okay, wait for 2 minutes. Hello. Is my voice clear now? Let me know. Is the voice clear now? Okay, voice is still breaking. Hello. Now is the voice clear or it is still having certain problems? Hello. Now it is clear? Okay, there must be some internet issues, I think. I'll repeat the topic. No, I'll repeat the topic. Not an issue. So I'll repeat the topic. Everyone, please concentrate now. And if the voice is breaking, let me know immediately so that we can proceed likewise, right? Fine. So I was explaining the topic overfitting, underfitting, and best fit model. So in that sense, I am discussing. I am taking an example of three set of students in a classroom. So for example, there is a textbook through which the professor is teaching, and there are three set of students. For example, one of the student is performing an exam. Whenever there is an exam, the performing one of the students is performing based on entirely based on guessing. That is, he is not understanding. Neither he is understanding the topic written in textbook, nor he is performing well in the questions that are asked in the test. Right. The second set of student. Okay, the second set of student that is performing through understanding the entire textbook. The second set of student is mugging up. You can say that he is mugging up the entire textbook. He is learning that whatever is present, he is understanding that only. So when a new set of data, that is a new question in the asked in the test, he is not performing well in that question. And the third set of students is learning through understanding. Okay, learning through understanding. Maybe he is understanding certain set of patterns or anything like that. So whenever there is a new pattern presented to it, new pattern or a new question presented to him, he is able to perform well in the test. So these three students I am relating to the overfitting, underfitting, and best fit model. So you can say that the textbook is your training data. Textbook that is given to you is your training data. So the student is learning through the training data. The first student is performing through guessing. That is, he is neither understanding the textbook content, that is, not understanding the data that is given to it. For example, if you consider the student as a model, then the model is given certain training data, right? Model will be given certain training data. So the model is not able to catch any pattern or able to learn any model, learn a good model. Okay, he is not able to learn any good model. So whenever they are given any training data or testing data, in both the cases, they will be performing poorly. That is underfitting model for you. Then we have overfitting model. Overfitting model is understanding the pattern only those patterns that are given to it. Means no data. From good on known data, that is the training data. But whenever there is a new set of data given to it, that is the testing data is given to this particular model, then it will perform poorly. So the model that performs good in training data but performs poorly on testing data are known as overfitting model. Okay, is it clear? And the last set of model is best fit model. Means it is performing well on training data as well as testing data. So they are best fit model. The model which will even if given the known data, that is training data is given for testing, then also it will perform good. And even if new set of data is given to this model, it will perform better. So it is best fit model for you. Is it clear now? Is the topic clear to everyone? Hello. Yes. Fine. So these are the three models that we have. Now, today we are going to discuss a regression. Okay, today we are going to discuss about regression. So this regression mainly contains many hypotheses. Okay, to solve this regression problem, we'll be containing many hypotheses in hypothesis space. So what is this hypothesis space and what I am talking about? Let us study. So there may be many type of regression problem. For example, we can have a polynomial regression problem or any other type of, that is linear regression problem, or any other curve can be there. Any set of regression problem can be there. But we'll be studying simplest regression problem, that is linear regression. So linear regression will have the hypothesis function, that is the function to solve this problem will be of linear form. Okay, this is clear? The function to solve this particular problem will be of linear form, and there can be many such hypotheses in hypothesis space. For example, you are given a linear regression problem where you have to predict the price of cars based on certain set of features. For example, x is number of gears. Number of gears is the feature that I'm providing to the model. Gear is the feature that I am providing to the model, based on which I want to predict the price of car. So this model can have many regression lines. So this can be one regression line, this can be another regression line, this can be third regression line, this can be another one, two, any set of regression line can be there. So this sets of regression line that it can have is the hypothesis space. Okay, this is the hypothesis space. But from this hypothesis space, we'll be finalizing only that hypothesis for which this it fits the data well. It fits the data properly. Fits the data properly means what? It has minimum error. Okay. That is what I'm stating, minimum error. So for example, if you have data like this, for example, you have set of data points like this. So the regression line that best fits the data is this one. So this is your best fit line. Is it clear? Is it clear to everyone? What we are trying to do here? So is it clear to everyone? Up to this is clear or not? Yes? Okay. What about others? Okay. Okay, is everyone clear with this? Okay. So let me share the PPT. Okay. So we studied about best fit, worst fit, and best fit, overfitting, and underfitting. So just take this example. Okay, I am presenting to you an example on the screen. For example, this is the blue points are the points. So for example, consider that the blue points are the points that are generated through this function. Generated this function means what? This just a minute. Through एक minute. Okay. Sorry. Generated to this function. So mainly what we are trying to do in regression problem, what we are trying to do, we are given certain set of points which are generated to certain line equation will be generated from, and we have to identify the best fit line so that whenever there is a new data given to us, we'll have approximately prediction. That is what we are trying to do. So for example, this is your line. Okay, this is the line through which green line is the line through which this blue data points are set. Right now I'm giving an example. Just consider that this is the best fit line, that this green line is best fit line for this data point. So we can say that these points were generated through this line. Yes or no? Yes? Yes or no? Is it clear? Is that clear? Hello? Okay, wait, I'm repeating. So, see, in regression, what we are trying to do, in regression, so much voice issue. Still there is voice issue? I think there is some internet related issue with the connection, maybe. Just a minute, I'll reconnect in a while, okay? Okay, when you started, just a minute. Hello? Okay. Okay, now is it clear? Now, okay, fine. So, what happens in regression problem is, what are we doing in regression problem? We are trying to find the best fit line. Okay, for a given set of data points, we are trying to identify the best fit line. But today we'll be discussing about linear regression. So the best fit line will be a linear line, right? Is it clear? That is clear to everyone, I suppose. Okay. So now I'm considering for this particular case, for this particular example, I'm trying to explain you the overfitting, underfitting, and best fit concept. So I already explained you the overfitting, underfitting, and best fit concept. Now I'm trying to explain the same using a regression problem, right? So consider, right now we are considering this as a regression problem. Okay, your regression problem can have any function. We are considering linear regression, so the function will be of linear form. But there can be polynomial regression or any other type of regression function as well, right? So in this particular example, consider that the green line is your regression line. Okay, green line is your regression line. So from that, the points have been generated. So that is the best fit line that we have. Now, suppose we are predicting a regression line. So we have already have this data. So what do we have? We have this data. We have these blue points with us, and we are trying to generate a regression line. We are trying to predict a regression line for this data. We are trying to predict a regression line for this data means we are trying to find the best fit line. Best fit line that fits the data. Okay. So for example, the first line that I have generated, is a straight line of x is equal to theta 0 is a parameter. Okay. Is it clear up to this? Hello? Yes, is it clear up to this? Okay. So in the first example, in the first image that we have, in the first image, I have generated a regression line. The red line is the regression line that I have generated through the machine learning model, right? In the second, this is the red line. This red line is the regression line that I have generated. In the third, I have approximately created the proper regression line for this data. And in the fourth one, this is the regression line that I've created, which is a function of 9th degree function. The third is a cubic function. The fourth, second is a linear, and the first one is a constant function, right? So you can see that the first model has the highest error. Yes or no? So error is what will be the error in linear regression. The first model will be having an highest error. What do I mean by that? Means this is the actual data set that we have, and our regression line is this, for example. So this point from the regression line. So this error will be maximum. Yes or no? Yes, right. So distance of this point, this error will be maximum. And in regression model, we'll be estimating error in mean square form. Okay. Mean square form is the difference between y hat, that is predicted, minus actual, the whole square. Summation of all those errors we'll be estimating. And we'll be estimating the square of the errors because we do not want to lose any data based on the signs or anything like that. For mathematical convenience, our error will be predicted data value, predicted point is actual, the whole square, and the summation means summation of all the errors, summation of this error, this error, this error, this error, and so on, right? Is it clear? Is everyone clear with this? Okay, so now you can say that the error in the first graph is greater than error in the second, is greater than error third, is greater than error in the fourth. Yes or no? We can say or not. The fourth one has the least error. It is passing through all the points. Yes or no? Yes? Yes? Yes, we need a model at highest intersection point, but it is not possible to generate such a model. If you see, we cannot actually, for example, these are your data points that we have. The best this, we can pass the model line through all the data points, but we have to estimate the line which has minimum cost. Minimum cost means minimum error. Whichever line that we estimate has the minimum error will be our line, will be our best fit line. Okay, is that clear? Yes, Dhruval? Hello. Okay, yes, Janil, wait a minute. Coming to that point. So we can take y hat. That is also another error that we have. This that we not lose any signs or anything like that. But this is mostly used in relation. We also have another one that you are stating. This y hat minus y. We also have that. We can take absolute value and such. We'll be using the square one, right? Mostly in linear regression, we'll be using this square error, mean square error as an error. Fine. Is it clear? Okay. Okay. Shall I proceed with the whatever the topic was? All right. So I was explaining. So the error in the first one is less than error in the second graph, is less than the third and the fourth. But you can see that the first two models are not a best fit model. They are underfitting models. Yes or no? Because they have maximum error. And if you have a new data point, it will not be giving an approximately good prediction. The third one is a third one is a approximately a good model. Yes, third regression line that we have predicted is approximately good, because for any new data points it will generate approximately good results, because we know that we are actual regression line, actual point line through which our points were created is the green line, and the regression line that we are generating through this points is the red one. So we are approximately getting good result. Now the fourth one is actually an overfitting model. Can you relate to it, that why it is an overfitting model? Anyone wants to explain that why the fourth one will be an overfitting model? Hello? Because it is fitting the data too well. Yes, fitting the data too well. Yes, that is the idea. But not the green line. Yes, it is fitting the data too well. That is, it is passing through all the points. It is passing through all the points. Yes or no? But if you pass a new data point, for example, I am passing a data point at this point. Right now, are you able to see where my mouse is pointing? Suppose I am passing a data point at this point, then the predicted value will be something like this. Something at this point, right? Just a minute, let me draw this particular graph and show you. So for example, this is a regression line that you have created, but your actual line which the points were created is this one. Okay? Just a minute. Okay, wait a minute. Okay. Okay, is this visible now? So the actual data point, that was this line was your actual point, but this is your predicted line. So for example, I am passing a new testing data set. I am passing a new testing data X, and the prediction for this is this point. Okay, this is the predicted value, but it should have been predicted. This should be your predicted point, but instead of that, this is your prediction through this model that we have created. So we can state that it is performing well on training data. It is performing well on training data because it is fitting the model too well, but it is not performing well on testing data, right? So this is your overfitting model. Is it clear to everyone now? So shall we proceed with the next part now? Is anyone having any doubt? Yes, it is not linear regression. Yes, it is not linear regression. Right now, I am discussing this is your another regression function. This function is your cubic function. But in case of okay, right, I will repeat. This is a cubic function. Regression function can have any form of function. Okay, but we in this particular right now I am discussing in this we will proceed with linear regression, but regression can have any form of function. Okay. So I'll read the last. So in the last four that in the fourth graph that we have created a model. We have created a model with 9-degree polynomial. Okay, we have created a problem. So the regression line that we have generated is something like this. Okay, this is your regression line that we have generated, but the actual data points were generated through this line. So actually the model should have predicted something like this. Okay, model should have predicted something like this. Instead of this, the model is passing through all the data points and creating something like this. Okay, this is your regression line, that is the model giving you or as an output. So you can say that if you are predicting, for example, you are passing a new data point x, this is your testing data point x that you are passing, the model will predict the value using this regression line as this as y hat. But actually the value should have been something like this at this point. Okay, so you can say that the model is fitting the data too well, so maybe the model is performing overfitting operation, that is it is performing well in the training data, but whenever you are passing a testing data it is giving poor results. Is it clear? Is this clear now? Yes, mean square errors has greater value. Okay, now shall we proceed with the regression part? So I think Keval is answer to that question, I think, right? For why cannot we use y hat minus y? Is it so? Okay, fine. Okay, wait, let me share the screen. Let me share the attendance sheet. Okay, everyone, I'm sharing the attendance sheet. Write your roll numbers in this one. Fine. All right. So let us proceed with the actual part of today's discussion, that is linear regression, which is our topic of discussion today. So is a machine learning algorithm for regression based problem. Okay, you already know what is regression and what is classification. So in linear regression, your output had the of. So what will be the hypothesis function? The hypothesis function is represented using the x for linear regression. Your hypothesis function will be of the form of linear form. Okay, so it will be of y is equals to theta 0 plus theta 1 into x. So what is x, what is theta 0, and what is theta 1, right? So x is the feature that we are seeing. So current in this lecture we'll be discussing about univariate linear regression. Univariate linear regression we'll be discussing about. So it will be containing features. For example, you have a problem balancing number of gears as your features. This is your x. You are predicting the car, which is your y. Okay, so this is a univariate linear regression. So it will be x will be your feature. So if we have more features, for example, we can have x1 to xn number of features in your data set.
This is Joe. Say hi, Joe.
Features.
Hi.
So then the feature is presented in the form of vector. And then we'll be doing matrix related operation in order to perform this calculation, right? Now what is theta 0 and theta 1? Is this clear to everyone up to this? Yes? Is everyone clear with this? Is my voice audible clearly? Hello? Okay, I'll repeat. Yes. Take some time. Okay. I think some network related issues there today, so that's why. Is the voice okay now, or there is some disturbance in the voice? Hello? Okay. The voice is clear right now, right? Okay, it breaks in between, but fine. I'll keep repeating. I'll repeat the topic again in linear regression what we are discussing, so that fine for those who have missed. So we are today we are discussing about linear regression, which is a regression problem. So linear regression will have a linear hypothesis function. Hypothesis function. So what is this hypothesis function? So for example, we have a certain set of training data. We have certain set of training data which will be passing through a learning algorithm. This learning algorithm will be our linear regression model. Okay, through which we'll be generating an hypothesis h of x. So in this hypothesis, we'll be passing a testing data, and through this hypothesis, we'll be predicting an output for this testing data, right? Okay, is it clear? So this hypothesis, for example, as I already discussed, for a linear regression problem, you can have any hypothesis function. For example, this could be your hypothesis function, this could be your hypothesis, or any of this. But we'll be finding the hypothesis function h of x such that it has minimum error. Okay, it has minimum error that we'll be estimating, and whichever has minimum error or best fits our data, which means the same. Okay, best fits our data. So today we'll be talking about univariate linear regression. We'll be talking about univariate linear regression, which will contain only one feature x. So your hypothesis function is of the form h of x equal to theta 0 plus theta 1 into x. So x is your feature that we'll be passing, and theta 0 and theta 1. What is theta 0 and theta 1? So theta 0 is the intercept to the y-axis. Intercept to the y-axis. And theta 1 is your slope of the line. Yes, is it clear? So for example, this is your regression line. So this will be your theta 0 value, and slope value will be your theta 1 value, slope value. Okay, slope of the line. I hope you understand that, right? Is it clear? Is everyone clear with the hypothesis function of linear regression, theta 0 plus theta 1 into x? Is everyone clear with this? Okay. What about others? Any doubts? Okay. Okay, let me proceed with the next part. Fine. So, for example, house price prediction is a regression problem that the size of the feet size of the house in square feet, and we'll be estimating the price of the house. Similarly, you can have different regression problem. For example, predicting the temperature of your environment based on certain features that you give it to the model. So in this we'll be having certain notations. For example, M here denotes the number of training samples. X, I have already mentioned that X is your input feature. Y is your output that will predict. Then we have X and Y denotes one of the training sample. And since we have M training sample, so YI will denote the output for ith training sample. And XI will denote the input for ith training sample. I hope notation is clear, right? Is this clear to everyone? All this is everything? Yes, is it clear? Fine. So your model representation, I already explained that there will be a training data set. You'll be passing it through a learning algorithm, which is our linear regression algorithm, and you'll be generating an hypothesis. What is an hypothesis? This is our hypothesis for linear regression, which is theta 0 plus theta 1 into x. Okay, and we may have many hypothesis function. So for different value of theta 0 and theta 1, we'll be having different hypothesis, right? So your hypothesis can vary. that is, you may have different, for different value of theta 0 and theta 1, you can have different values of hypothesis, different hypothesis function, but we'll choose the hypothesis function that best fits our data. That is the main idea. Okay, so that whenever we are passing any new training sample, we'll get the prediction which is close to actual value that we'll be having. Okay, in supervised learning algorithm, you are already studied that this is a supervised learning algorithm. So we'll be passing a data with labels. Okay, so here the labels will be continuous values. That is price of the car that we are predicting, right? That will be the labels that will be passing. Okay, it is clear up to this, right? Yes or no? Okay, fine. Now these parameters theta 0 and theta 1 will help us to find the hypothesis function. Okay, these are the parameters. So I already explained what is theta 0 and theta 1. Theta 0 is your intercept to y-axis, and theta 1 is your slope. Okay, these are the two parameters that we have. Now, how will we choose theta 0 and theta 1? How will we choose theta 0 and theta 1 such that it best fits our data? So, I think now we'll be talking about something called, first we'll be talking about error function in MSc error loss function in linear regression. So we know that what is the loss function that we discussed of? We'll be denoting the loss function in the form of j of theta 0 and theta 1, which is 1 upon 2m sigma I is equal to 1 to m y minus h of x the whole square. Okay, y is the actual label and h of x is your predicted value, predicted label. By label here I mean continuous value that is predicted. Okay, that is I hope that is understood. Okay, continuous value that is predicted. So first, this is your loss function in your linear regression problem. So before we proceed, let us see some of the examples that your linear regression can have following kind of a regression line. So for example, we have for different value of theta 0 and theta 1, we'll be having different regression lines. Okay, that is clear to everyone. Now the idea is that we have to minimize this cost function. Minimize this cost function. Yes, we are trying to minimize this error. Minimizing this error means we are trying to find the best fit line. Okay, both are meaning the same. Minimizing the cost function ultimately will result into the best fit line. Okay, so we are trying to minimize this cost function, and we have to choose theta 0 and theta 1 so that of x, that is the predicted value, is close to the actual value of your training sample. So first we'll define the cost function. I'm sorry, I have written the wrong formula I think here. So the cost function is actually of this form: j of theta 0 and theta 1 is equals to 1 upon 2m sigma I is equals to 1 to m h of x minus y the whole square. Okay, where h of x is the predicted value and y is the actual value. Okay, and 2m is number of training samples, and we'll be performing the summation of error over all the values. Okay, that's why the summation over all the samples 1 to m. Okay, this is clear to everyone? Up to this is clear or not? Is everyone clear with what I have explained till this point? Hello? Yes. Yes, Keval. What is the question?
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, the formula you have written that y minus.
Okay, right. Okay. That is what you're saying. I was correcting the formula. That is what you're
Yes,
saying
but
of.
the previous
Right?
formula was also correct because of the we have square.
Right. Okay, that is also right. Okay, fine.
Okay.
Okay, we can also write in this form or that form. That is fine. Okay, because of the square, ultimately the sign will be separated, right? Okay, fine. So is everyone clear with this up to this cost function? Is everyone clear with this? So shall we proceed with the next part? Okay, fine. So our main idea is to reduce the cost function and reduce the cost function. So we have to find the value of theta 0 and theta 1 such that our cost function is reduced. Okay, cost function is minimum. Cost function means this error j of theta 0 and theta 1. So any method that you know of through which we can identify the value of theta 0 and theta 1 such that the cost is minimum. Any method? Yes? Anyone? Yes, derivation is equal to 0. Yes, we can do that, right? So what we'll be doing? One of the methods that we can do, that we can identify the value of theta 0 and theta 1 is we'll be doing the partial derivative of j of theta 0 theta 1 with respect to theta 0 and partial derivative of j of j with respect to theta 1, and then we'll be finding the value of theta 0 and theta 1 which will minimize the error, right? That we can do. So for example, if we have right now we are discussing for univariate linear regression. Okay, right now we are discussing for univariate linear regression. So for that case there will be only theta 0 and theta 1. For multivariate, that is more number of features, for n number of features x1 to xn, we'll have from theta 0 theta 1 to theta n, right? So you have to find the derivation for all the values and so on, right? Is it clear to everyone? This is one of the methods, but in machine learning we have a method to find an optimization, to solve an optimization problem like this. What is an optimization problem? This optimization problem is to find a best fit line. Okay, this is the optimization problem that we have. This algorithm is known as gradient descent. So we will be utilizing this gradient descent algorithm in order to find the value of theta 0 and theta 1. Okay, such that the values of theta 0 and theta 1 such that our data, our error is minimum. Okay, our error is minimum or the cost is minimum. Okay, is this clear up to this? What we'll be using? We'll be using gradient descent algorithm. Instead of performing this derivation and all, we'll be using gradient descent algorithm, right? So what is this gradient descent algorithm? Now I'll explain what is gradient descent algorithm. Up to this is clear? Okay, I'll give only a brief idea about gradient descent. So we'll keep up to that in today's lecture. So has everyone signed up in the form? Submitted the form? Yes or no? Okay, fine. All right. So up to this is clear to everyone? All right. So now I will discuss about gradient descent algorithm through an example. So for example, there are two students in your classroom, student 1 and student 2, and both suppose one they are estimating the marks of ML exam. So one of the student has got 40 and he is asking his friend that guess my marks. Okay, what is the possible output that the friend can give? The friend can provide 35 as an answer, but the student 1 can say, okay, 35 is not my mark, go for another value. So so 35 is your initial value. 35 is the initial value that will predict, for this particular marks. Then you will increment the marks. You might decrement the mark. Okay, you can go for 30. Then you will increment the mark from 30 to 10. That is, you will increment the mark. Is it clear? That is a possible. You are trying to guess the value which is close to actual value, which is 40. So gradient descent will work on similar idea. Okay, gradient descent will work on similar idea, where our new output, our new value for theta 0 will be an step size that will be subtracting from the actual value, from the estimated value. So first step that we'll do in gradient descent is we'll assume some values for theta 0 and theta 1. Okay, this will be an iterative algorithm. This will be an iterative algorithm. We'll do a random guess. We'll do a random initial guess for theta 0 and theta 1. Then what we'll do? We will estimate. Okay, for theta 0 and theta 1, we'll estimate the cost. We'll estimate whether this is close to the actual output. No, it is not close. Then we'll increment or decrement the value of theta 0 and theta 1 based on whatever output we are getting. So what we'll be doing, is this clear to everyone what the idea is behind this, what the idea is that I'm trying to explain? So as an example, as an analogy, I took the example of student. Is the analogy clear or should I explain it again? Hello. Okay. See, for example, there are two students, student 1 and student 2. Okay. So what they are trying to do, suppose student 1 is asking student 2 to guess the marks of his ML marks. Okay, guess the marks of his ML. So we'll do from initial prediction. We'll do some initial prediction, for example, 35. So if the 35 is not close to the actual value, what we'll do? We'll either increment the value, we'll either decrement the value. So same way will happen in gradient descent. So we have a certain function. For example, f of x is equal to x square is a function that we have. And our goal is, suppose in this particular function, our goal is to minimize this function. Okay. Our goal is to minimize this function. So what we'll do? We'll do some initial guess. For example, x I'm estimating as 4. Okay. X I'm estimating as 4. Now we'll check whether the function is giving some minimum value. No. The actual minimum value of f of x should be 0. Is it close? For example, I am estimating x equal to 4. I'll check. Is the value close to what I am estimating? No, it is not. So I'll either increment the value of x or I will decrement the value of x. Yes or no? Okay. So if I am taking -1 as an output, -1 as a value of x, and I'll check, okay, -1, the whole square is 1, which is not close to 0. So the next step should be increment the value of x. Okay, it should be close to 0. Yes, sir. And if I am taking 4 as in value of x, I'll check. Okay, x 4 square is equals to 16. Well, 16 is not very close to 0, so I'll decrement the value of x by maybe 3. I'll take the next value of x. So this is the main idea. So similarly, we'll be doing for linear regression. So we'll do some initial guess for theta 1 and theta 0. Then what we'll do, based on the output that we are getting, we'll keep on updating the value of the theta 0 and theta 1 at each step. Okay. So is it clear? The idea is clear to everyone or not of gradient descent? Is this clear? So in next lecture, we'll see the graphical representation and then we'll understand in a more better form. But right now I'm just giving a brief idea that we'll be solving we'll be using gradient descent algorithm to solve the cost function. So our idea is to reduce the cost function. So we have to estimate the value of theta 0 and theta 1 such that our cost function that is theta is minimum. Okay, and we will be utilizing gradient descent algorithm for this purpose. Okay, is it clear? So today's lecture is clear to everyone. We'll see in brief about gradient descent further in the next lecture because right now the time is up. So we'll not discuss any further right now. So is this clear to everyone today's lecture? Any doubts? Hello? Any doubts? Hello? Okay, I suppose there is no doubt. So, okay, fine. I'm ending this meeting and we'll meet in the next lecture, that is on Friday. Okay, till then, fine. So I'm ending this meeting now, right? And I suppose that everyone has filled that form of attendance. Okay. Have a good day.